Hey, it's Sayje.
And I'm DeShawn. And welcome to another special episode of
Unbinding the Binary. A visual podcast where we get transparent about life, art, love, gender, and as you will see, so much more.
So much more, you don't even know.
You don't know, honey, what we got in store for you today.
We have an incredible artist who we both have just fallen in love with, who goes by the name of LEONE. And when I tell you, y'all are so in for a treat, it's going to be incredible. So sit back, relax, and enjoy, because it's about to get real and lovely and live and just all of the wonderful things.
So deep, so sweet. So, without further ado, we want to announce their first performance of the night, a song called Talk to Me.
Mark the letters that you read, post them up so you don't forget. Mark the letters that I wrote. I just want you to know that I know that you never wanna talk about it. Yeah, I know, 'cause you're giving me the same old silly lies. Wrap my arms around you tight, so you know that I am here. I hang on to every word you say. I save them all for my rainy days. I hang on to everything you speak, 'cause I know that it's a red to see, and I know that you never wanna talk about it. Yeah, I know, 'cause you're giving me the same old silly lies. Wrap my arms around you tight, so you know that I am here. I am here. And I know that you never wanna talk. Yeah, I know that you never wanna talk. You never wanna talk. Just talk to me. Oh, just talk to me. Oh, just talk to me.
The Oracle Shop is a metaphysical boutique located in the heart of Bushwick, Brooklyn. This shop features beautiful and energizing products for the home, body, and soul, including crystals and minerals, as well as ceremonial and spiritual cleansing supplies, jewelry, oracle cards, tarot cards, books, candles, and more. Come visit us at the Oracle Shop, located at 164 Wilson, Brooklyn, New York, 11237.
And we are back.
Yes.
We are so excited actually to have this next guest on. I saw this person perform and I love their artistry. I love what they did. I was so moved and I knew I had to have him as a guest on our show. And we talked about it and it was just like easy peasy. And they are here with us today. Very excited to have the beautiful and incredible
Leone.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for having me, you guys.
Thank you for being
I honestly
here.
am really happy to be here. The second you told me that you were creating something like this, I was like, the second we met also, I was like, it felt right to kind of do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here we are.
And here we are.
So just to start everything off right, we always like to ask, what are your pronouns and what do you like to go by?
I mean, I always say whatever's said respectfully, so he, she, they, them, as long as it's said nicely. I don't really take anything too personally.
Yes,
Yeah.
with respect.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
so
always.
whatever's clever, whatever
Yeah.
fits the moment.
Yeah.
Which leads me to our first question. So we noticed that Leone is a stage name. Where does it come from? And what inspired you to change it from Richie B?
So, funny story is, Richie B was kind of like an accidental name because at the time I was on Facebook as Richard Leone, like my first and last name. And then I was applying for jobs and someone was like, it's probably not smart to kind of have your full name just because if you're I was in college, high school, getting crazy with people, and so I was like, I don't want anything,
The red cups.
I don't want anyone
floating
to look
around.
for me and see me fucking taking beer bottles and shit like that. So I changed it to Richie B because my middle name is actually Destined.
Ooh.
I'm Italian and Cuban.
Ooh.
And so I chose to use Richie B, but I've just put 2 E's at the end for whatever reason, and that shit stuck hard. So I've just been kind of going with that since high school. And then recently Leone came from, Leone is my last name, but I decided that I wanted to go by Leone for this project because it's a really personal one for me. And I lost my father 5 years ago to stage 4 cancer, lung cancer, and when I decided to do this project, I really wanted to kind of be able to pay homage to him and have his last name live on through me and through my art because he was my biggest fan. And so I chose to go by Leone. Yeah, here we are.
And honor him, right?
Yes,
The family name.
absolutely.
I
He was
love
also
that.
he really is the reason that I am the artist I am today. He was the one that took me to karaoke 2 days a week, being
Wow.
putting me on a stage, being if this is what you want to do with your life, you have to know how to have stage presence and be on a stage and not be nervous. And he would we'd be in the car and he would be playing me Barbra Streisand and Frank Sinatra and Whitney Houston, and he would pause it and he'd be rewind it, and then he'd be listen to the pain in her voice, listen to the way that she is speaking this line, like, when you are singing, you need to be able to connect. You need to believe the things that you're saying. So, like, in many ways, he, like, trained me. And so when I lost him, I felt like, I just want to do right by him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Right? And having heard the album, you did right by him.
Yeah.
You definitely did right by him, 100%.
Thank you.
It actually leads me to my next question. Outside of your father, what other artists have influenced you in your sound, and where do you pull that from?
It's interesting because I don't feel like I'm like making music that I necessarily probably am influenced from, but I most likely am subconsciously. But my first love was Whitney Houston. My first love was Whitney Houston. And so I always bring her up first because she is like the first artist that I fell in love with and like obsessed over. And that's kind of been my whole life. I've gone through like chapters of like becoming obsessed with like a specific artist, replaying songs over and over again, like it. And I think at this point in my life, I'm influenced by conviction.
It has to be believable, right? Like,
I'm influenced by that. Like the music community in Brooklyn, especially, like my friends that are also in bands and making music, and you can just see like the passion and the everyone kind of like spills their whole heart out. So for me, that is like kind of what influences me, is like just being able to go there.
And that takes a lot of like courage to be able to just even put yourself in that space to go there,
That's the thing, is like I'm at this point in my life where I'm just like, and I think the pandemic probably did it a lot to me too, but where this is such a cliche thing to say, but the truth is like, this is like our one moment, right? And I don't want to live my life holding things back or not saying what I mean, and I just don't want to live a life with any sort of like regret.
Speak.
You know?
Yeah, 100%.
And so LEONE is just like, it's my last name. It's who I am behind closed doors. This is me stripped when no one's around. This is, and that's why I think I was like so nervous coming here, because it's my first interview for this upcoming EP. It's my first time having to talk about these things and reflect and think about kind of the process for me. And it's a scary thing.
Yeah.
Talking about it, because I think in many ways when I wrote this, I like blacked out in a weird way. And now I'm like processing. If that makes sense.
Reflecting, right?
Yeah. I think that's part of the gift too. Is like when you have those blackout moments and like the words and the music just kind of flows out of you and you don't even realize what you're saying. You're just like, oh, this is like coming out, and you go back. I think that's the magic. Like that's the truth.
My favorite part about song. And you two are also songwriters as well, so you get it. It's like there has to be. Someone said this once to me at a bar, my first time doing shrooms, and it was so intense for me. He looked at me, and I was talking about my music. This was when I was with my old band, and he looked at me and he goes, "You're a conduit."
A vessel. Yeah.
And that like stuck with me in many ways. That's what you have to be in order to like really like write, is like let go of any sort of ideas of what you are trying to sound like, or it just has to be like this like organic. And I think that's my favorite part about songwriting, is just like trusting that the universe will kind of like give me a message.
And yeah, we got a chance to, we're blessed to preview the album, and I have to say that is definitely something that's very prevalent in all of the songs. I was telling you earlier, and how consistent the sound is throughout all of it. And so
thank you.
I'm so glad that you mentioned your former band, because it leads me to the next question. So we know, you were previously in a glam rock band.
Yeah.
How has that experience influenced you as a solo artist specifically?
I think, so I was in a glam rock band called Deitre. And the way that Deitre kind of came about was, I was working with my producer. I had met my producer around that time, Peter Savage, who also produced LEONE, as well as Deitre. And I walked into the studio, and I originally was like making like pop music. And then my dad got diagnosed around that time, and I remember feeling like angry. And I remember going into the studio and being like, I think I want to make rock music. I never listened to rock music really growing up. I want to just, I don't know, I want to try and just fucking do it. I had all this like fire in me, and all of this like kind of, and then as we were writing and stuff, my dad ended up passing away like 6 months into the writing. It's okay. I really wouldn't be like the person I am, and that's why I feel like Deitre is like was so big and like actually making me the performer that I am today, because I really did let go, and it was my first time putting on a pair of heels. I remember like just being like having this like rebellion inside of me and being like, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want to do. And so Deitre was really beautiful for me, because Peter, my producer, at the time, he was like, we're not gonna be sad. He really like helped me kind of use the sadness and create this music that was very like empowering and very like, I'm feeling fucking sexy tonight, I'm going out. Like it helped me kind of like heal, but also at the same time, and in many ways it is the reason why I'm the performer also that I am today. It helped me find my rock kind of voice. I found my voice through Deitre.
Wow.
Growing up listening to pop and very polished things, and then making rock music, I like the inflections in my voice. I wasn't scared to scream. I wasn't afraid to like sound ugly. Like I allowed myself to just like come from this like pure like emotion. And allowing like so and then that's what led me to LEONE. When the pandemic happened, we're still gonna make music eventually. I'm never gonna cut that off. Peter's like literally my music soulmate in many ways. Like he understands my language. He understands what I'm going for. Because being in a studio also, I'm sure that it's like you have to be able to communicate.
Yeah, and and it's hard to find that in a producer, and that's what I was gonna say. That
it's like a whole nother fucking thing. Being able to be like, this is what I'm hearing. Like, there's so many times where I'm like making noises that I don't even like want to hear in the song, and he's like, I know what you're trying to say. It turns into that.
So would you say that in a way, other than him being just a producer, he was almost like a therapist for you at times as well?
I have said to him this before, and I mean it, because I feel like he kind of like took my dad's place in a weird way. Not that my dad's place could ever be taken, but I didn't, like with family, I didn't have like as much support as I thought I did. And then when my dad passed, I realized how I don't really feel like I have that many people. I don't know. I think that my family loves me, and I think that they believe in me, but my dad just was like my number one fan. And Pete like is like, he's just like there, you know? Yeah.
Another cheerleader, right?
Yeah.
Somebody cheering you on.
Yeah, and he also like, it's so nice like to just be surrounded by people that are also passionate. And I'm like coming in and meeting you guys. Like it's just you kind of, the universe is like kind of pulling people into my life because I think because it's genuinely who we are. So in turn we attract.
You like giving me goosebumps.
I know. I'm here. I'm so here. That's why if I'm quiet, like if I'm too quiet, it's because I'm being pulled there with you. And I think the album itself, you did a really good job with taking us to this place of pain and grief, but then transmuting that into something healing and empowering. So kudos to you, kiddo.
It wasn't intentional.
No.
That's the best part.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Like now,
yeah.
it's like, and then I like my first time like sing, like you were there for one of the first few times. Like Leone just started this summer. I just started playing in May.
No, what? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I have to touch on that.
Yeah.
Because, so I'm gonna make this very quick. For my birthday this past summer, I went to see two performers that were on the same bill that I love, and I was very excited. I had no idea what I was going to. I just thought I was going to see my two performers, and yay, birthday for me. And I walk into this show, and it is a queer original artist review called Legion. And I was blown away in a way I hadn't felt in a very long time. I had never been in a space of queer artists doing original music that was like just them. I mean, in all of their just queer glory. Oh my gosh. We don't. And the thing about your performance in particular that really like just had me so captivated, because like you were there with your guitar, heels, tank top. It was just so stripped, but you were just so you and so comfortable. And so I was so inspired. I honestly, like, I have to credit that experience. And by the way, Legion was, I found out at the show, Leone's show. So made it even better. Like, produced it. That was his whole thing. Mm-hmm. But I have to credit you for giving me like a push and a green light to even like try any like musically artistic anything, because I had shut that down. Story for another day.
I will say though, this one was like up front and center. So you were looking for that green light. You were open to receiving that message, and you received it, and it was.
It's a give and take.
Right in the front. Right in the front.
I left that event, and it put me on a path. Like, it changed my life. Honestly, I can't. I know that sounds corny, and I'm one to always be like, oh my god, it changed my life. But things really do. Like, I feel stuff that deep, and stuff really does change my life that way. But I will never forget that. I will never forget that, and it really, really changed everything. And so to hear you say that you as Leone had just started, and that performance was, thank you for listening, thank you for tapping in, thank you for understanding what you had to do, because these are the moments where you are a vessel. Because I had no idea what I was coming to, and that literally changed the entire direction of where I was within my own artistic space. So thank you so much, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Honestly, thank you. Seriously, no, honey, we got tissue somewhere.
We got tissue.
Seriously,
yeah. Like cry, babe.
It's like really to hear you sit here and say that. That just I would have never.
No,
it's inspiring.
Everything is like really raw for me right now.
Wow.
This is all new stuff, and this is all like the beginning. And so, yeah, I mean, these performances and stuff, and also like, I had this like thing in my mind because I'm like, what do I like want to wear on stage, like with these songs and this music and stuff. And like in my mind I was like, I really want to come out like in a sexy outfit and let you see that and be like, oh, this is gonna be fucking hot, and then sing my saddest song first and just like hit you in the face with it. I wanted it to be that because I feel like we are so quick to judge based on appearance, and I really wanted to kind of translate that in my own like way.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mission accomplished.
Thank you. I mean, I could still sing sexy songs, but she's there.
Right.
But right now, she's just diving in. She's diving into the deep. She's there.
Look, that's how you find the healing. You know?
I'm here. Yeah.
So, what style or genre of rock would you say your sound is now? Because it definitely, especially now hearing a little bit of your background and knowing more of your influence, I can hear some of the pop influence there, and how you deliver it for sure.
Yeah.
But it definitely has a edge to it that does have some like a little bit of a rock vibe to it. So what genre?
Yeah,
would
you could have
say?
fooled me if rock wasn't your original genre.
Yeah.
It just comes so naturally out of me.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, I'm saying it's like pop rock alternative, but I also don't want to like make put myself inside of a box. I don't want to live in this binary world. I want to leave myself open to explore and try different things. So I want to make rock. I want to do a dance album eventually. Ooh. Like I want to do, you know what I'm saying? I want to like, I'm not like trying to put myself inside of a box. I'm just trying to like honor where I'm at emotionally. And right now emotionally I'm pop rock alternative. Has ethereal sounds to it. Going back to influences really quick, I'm realizing like, I guess my like rock, when I do it in quotes, that's kind of fucked up to say, do it like that, but like Avril Lavigne, Ashley Simpson, I was like obsessed with them growing up too, like pop rock.
Yeah.
The
so
same.
Yeah.
we're gonna sit down and write some. Yeah, exactly. Bring it out of me too. Our light for light.
It's interesting, like being at this point where interviews are so cool for me because it's like I don't even think about these things. It forces me to actually reflect. Sometimes I don't always do that. I'm just like living in it, you know? So when you reflect, it's like, oh fuck, actually, that is there, or that's always been there, and yeah, it's really cool.
It's incredible. So I think we're getting ready to go for a little break.
Okay.
And then when we come back, we'll have
a lot more Leone. That's what we'll have. So we'll be right back.
The Fine Print by two-time Glam award-winning artists, the Dragon Sisters. Available now.
Hey, guess what I do is my job.
Side to side, anything you want that cookie provide. Edible arrangement, coconut side.
Islaya, it's in the name. The new single by Islaya, available now for download on Spotify. Monochrome Colors, the new single from LEONE, Available now, everywhere music is streamed.
And we are back with the one and only Leon.
Hi.
So, talking a little bit more about the album, it feels like a journey through the stages of grief at some points. So, was this process one of healing, or would you say you felt like you had to push through to gain that?
It's kind of a difficult question to answer because I think that I was grieving the whole time while writing it, but maybe I didn't realize that I was grieving. I was grieving my relationship that was rocky, that I was currently in, that I was like living in the same space with my ex, and I feel like I am still like grieving that to an extent. But through like letting it out and talking about it, like I am healing. So healing will always come from, and that's also why I think like my whole life when I write by myself, when I have like written by myself, things I tend to be darker as an artist. Like I've gotten to the point in my life where I accept that I am kind of a sad person. But when I say sad, I don't mean it in a way that is like, I think that ultimately like I strive to feel things so intensely, and because I know that I feel like through sadness I actually become closer to connecting. And it is actually like when I'm broken that I actually feel I let it out, and then I like feel like that heals me in a way. So I'm not afraid of it. I think that's why I'm like so easy to go there all the time. Yeah. I don't know if that answers the question.
No, it does. And honestly, like it's very relatable. I think, you know, I know you're a Cancer. So water signs, honey, we feel everything above, beyond, and all and through. So I understand what you mean by that, because there is a certain truth to that darkness that you tap into, that even though it seems dark, if you will, I just think it's like it's just the truth. And I think a lot of times we will, you know, color over that because we want to, you know, be happy, color rainbows and shit all the time.
Also,
just sometimes you just gotta go to the depths to get the healing that you actually need.
And also,
you know?
I feel like, I mean, I wrote these songs first and foremost for me because it is my story, right? But I also like really wanted to create something like for us that was like not afraid to go there. And like we don't talk enough about it with each other, like who we are behind closed doors, the depression that we feel, love lost, mourning. Dating is not easy, bitch. Being a queer human, especially in the city, you know what I'm saying? And like heartbreak happens every fucking day in a weird way. I fall in love every day. I fucking like it, everything is so kind of extreme, and so I really like try to articulate just the truth of it all. I really want to just show how human we are.
Oh.
Yeah.
also.
That is so important. That is so important. That
Yes.
gets skipped over so much. Especially in like I feel like with
Today's music.
Oh my gosh, yeah, like especially with today's music, everything is just and it's no shade, I'm all about sex positivity, all about it.
Yeah,
But
there's nothing wrong with that
Yeah.
at all. Like,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I was just agreeing with you. I was
Yeah. No, I just feel that sometimes, especially as we're getting older, and like I guess a lot of that part of our lives is starting to like taper off, where we're starting to kind of like settle into ourselves and understand who we are as emotional beings. And I feel like there's this over sexualization that happens in music that just skips over like the emotion. Like, yeah, like yes, we can get it popping in the bed and the sheets and do all the freaky things all day, but where is the vulnerability after that, or before that, or in the moment, or when things are not so great? And I want to just talk about that. Like, this is the stuff that really is hitting my heart. Like, this fell apart and I'm devastated. It's supposed to like it's like I don't want to hear the song about the makeup sex, actually, because that's not helping me. I want to hear the song about how you got through the breakup. You know what I mean? And that's what you present 100%, in your album, honestly.
Thank you.
Yeah, that actually leads me to the next question,
Okay.
which is about Talk to Me and Back to You off the album, which, having been through those experiences myself, were like some of the most vulnerable lyrics in the album. And as I was listening to the songs, I wondered, like, how were you able to tap into this space to give such truth? And it made me wonder, like, were you writing these as this was happening, or were you writing this after? Because I mean, especially Back to You had me sitting, and I had to sit for a minute, like, whew, I know this all too well. So
What's interesting is, for Back to You specifically, I wasn't necessarily writing that about my story at the time. I had actually had a phone conversation with a friend that was also living with his partner during the pandemic, and they ended up deciding to call it quits, and they broke up, and I was talking to him about everything afterwards, and I was asking him how he's holding up, and he was like, I'm not doing okay. I want to like write him this email telling him like that I miss him and that I want him back. And I had been playing around with this riff for a while, and then I got off the phone with him, and Back to You kind of just poured out. And my way of kind of processing that, or like the story that I was trying to tell, was I wanted to write the email or the letter or the letter that he would have written to his partner that he did not know what to say. So I kind of put myself in his shoes for that. So Back to You is, but it's interesting, is like time is like not linear, right? It's like what meant something to me then doesn't mean the same to me now. Back to You has a completely different meaning to me now, because I'm living that currently, So interesting how music especially, and lyrics like hit you at different times, For Talk to Me, I was living it, and I was living the same day every day. I had decided to move to Asbury Park when the pandemic hit, and with my partner at the time that I've known since I was like 18 years old. So we kind of grew up together. So in my mind, I was like, this is it for me. Like, I'm gonna be with him forever. Like, I want to take that next step. Now's the time to do it. Like, I know I want to come back to New York, but let's have some time away and kind of recenter ourselves, live on a beach for a year, have a moment where we could kind of just grow our relationship since the pandemic's happening and stuff. So we chose Asbury Park. I didn't realize how lonely it was gonna actually be, living the same day in and day out, not working, not having any of my friends there, not playing any shows. I questioned if I was gonna ever be able to make music, be a musician again. I was like legit depressed, and he was still working full time. And so every day, I was living the same day over and over. He'd wake up in the morning, go to work, come back at 5, we'd get ready to go to the gym, we'd go to the gym, we'd come back, I'd cook us dinner, we'd watch a couple of episodes of something, he'd go to bed, we'd wake up, and I am a creature of spontaneity. I cannot live the same day twice. Like
Groundhog Day every day,
Oh,
over and over
my-
again.
It was insane. And I felt like we weren't talking to each other at one point about how crazy things were, and also he had a lot of demons, and I don't want to put his shit on blast or anything, so I'll just keep it super light. But I would write him these letters saying that I know that you battle with a lot, and I just want you to know, like, I see that you're trying, you know? And he would post them up by his bed. He'd put like the letters and stuff like by his bed. So mark the letters that you read. Post them up so you don't forget. Mark the letters that I wrote because I just want you to know that I know that you never want to talk about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So when I wrote that song,
Okay.
so when I wrote it, I didn't even realize how sad I was. Talk to Me came out like genuinely, like, it's the thing is, like, when I write some of these songs, like, when I know it's good when I just break down in the middle of it, a lyric comes out and it just smacks me in the face. And Talk to Me was that, where I was sitting on the floor, my pedal, and I was like learning about it, and tapping the harmonizer that I work with, just tapping that, singing on the floor, pulled the mic down, and I was playing with, and then the chorus came out with the harmonies and stuff, and I just like broke down, and I realized we're not talking to one another. I'm living this life day in and day out.
It's okay. No, it's okay, honey.
And so I wrote this song with the hopes of I'm gonna present it to him, and things will be better. So I came home from work. He came home from work, and I was like, I have a song I want to play for you. And I played it for him. And he said he liked it, but I feel like he didn't actually hear it. And so Talk to Me, it's like this cry out of like, there's something, I want to be closer to you, but ultimately, I don't think you can, I feel like you can't go there with me. Yeah. I'm going to be shooting the music video for Talk to Me actually within a couple of weeks, and I'm going to literally be reliving that environment.
Wow.
I think. Yeah, I really want to just like paint the picture of what that was. Yeah. Talk to Me is like, I think probably the hardest song on the album. Yeah.
It's one of the most beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank
You
you.
can feel that, but this is what it's all about, right? It's like now transforming, even though this is for your audience, you know, to hear, to enjoy, but it's also, it'll be healing for you too, you know, to put
That's
yourself
the thing
through
is
that.
like seeing the tears in other people's eyes.
Yeah.
Everyone is so connected, and it's like almost like I wrote Talk to Me so I could be seen, and he didn't see me, but now I'm singing Talk to Me to people, and they're seen, and there's like so much power.
That's the first song I actually heard you perform at the show. I remember like it was yesterday, and you were there, and you said, like, I wrote this song and we started, and you actually cried during that performance, and I literally gasped. Like, I was just like, I was just frozen, and hearing the backstory now and understanding this song even more, it truly resonates. And I would just encourage you to, in this process, just to continue to transmute that into the healing that you need for the closure, you know, because those spaces are very painful, and it is hard to, as an artist, always tap back into that space, to have to perform these songs again and relive these moments, but learning how to take that and find the strength in that, to say that, like, I took this time and this pain, and not only did I turn it into something beautiful, but I also turned it into healing for myself and for other people, and I created something that is so much bigger than this moment. And even though this moment may have brought pain, what it has done for, what it will do and has done for the people who have heard it and the people that will heard it is so much bigger. You know, and allowing yourself, and I thank you for allowing yourself to be that vessel to work that through, because a lot of people wouldn't be able to do that, and it's a true testament to your artistry and how passionate and genuine you are about what you do. You know, and I thank you, honestly. I thank you, because it's one of the most beautiful songs on the album. I mean, the whole album is beautiful, but and if I'm not mistaken, those two are like back to back too, or like it's like that whole moment of the album had me like, okay, you know. So it just
I mean, I really am. My life is, all I think about is being an artist and being a storyteller, and I'm always creating in my mind. And it's interesting, it's like, with all the questions that are being asked and stuff, like, it really does make you reflect. And like, I was thinking about that moment. I remember the moment that I knew that I wanted to be a musician, and my dad had taken me to see a live band for the first time, and they surprised my ass without me knowing. My dad was like, "You're gonna sing a song with them." The song that I normally do at karaoke. So at that time, I was doing "Baby One More Time."
I think everyone has gotten a voice in their life and done a little impromptu Britney moment.
So I got on a stage, and this whole full band played behind me, "Baby One More Time," and I sang it, and I just remember the sound and the feeling it in your chest, like through your feet, like the energy that it was. I'm like, this is not karaoke, bitch. This is like,
this is a performance.
This is it. This is like what it is. This is like, and I remember like my dad and I going back to the car, and we shut the doors, and I immediately like broke down hysterically crying. And I was like, the feeling that I had was so overwhelming at such a young age, like 13, 14. It was like, and at that time I wasn't connected to like my third eye and being a conduit and messages that are given to you, but that was the first time where I felt like I got like a message. And I was like, this is like why I'm here, is to like make art. And since that day, I've been manifesting in my mind every single fucking day since 14, just like painting the picture of who I am gonna be. And I feel like I'm like there finally. It's really cool. I'm like at the point where I'm just able to like be acknowledged as an artist first and foremost. That's all I've ever wanted. I just want people to see me as an artist, you know.
And that's why we do this on Unbinding the Binary, and inviting, you know, queer, trans, and non-binary artists on, because we know first and foremost for ourselves that oftentimes we don't get the recognition and the appreciation, you know, that we should. And so going back to those colors in your mind, I want to ask you, So what is the concept behind the single, your first single, that's going to be off the album Monochrome Colors?
Colors of your mind, bitch. You leaned into that question. I love that. So Monochrome Colors, when writing it, I had just moved to Asbury Park and just started really playing with the guitar. It was one of the first songs that I wrote off of the album. And the first verse was kind of speaking about just the reflecting again, realizing, because sometimes I don't even realize what I'm doing as a writer. It just comes out, and then you reflect and you're like, oh shit, okay. So I had written these two verses, and in the first verse I didn't realize that I was speaking on time as in like shorter kinds of time in short term. The second verse I chose to take, so the first verse is like, time to tell me the truth. Did you not care for me the way that I cared for you? Time spits in my face. It doesn't care what we had. It was all just a big mistake. Just like very kind of small, like these are things that we deal with every day. And then the second verse I'm speaking on, time in the driver's seat. Isn't it weird to think that this is the youngest we'll ever be? It becomes this whole thing of like what actually life is about and how important it is to not take things for granted. And I thought more about my dad actually for the second verse, where it was like, isn't it weird to think this is the youngest we'll ever be? Time, bitch, I'm forgetting my lyrics.
It's okay. All the greats do it.
Okay.
I'm always like, how does Mariah remember all this?
Let's sing it. No, but and then the thing is, I just wrote these verses, and I didn't write a chorus. I knew what the chorus melody was, but I had actually gone to sleep one night, and in my dreams, I was singing Monochrome Colors. Monochrome Colors. That was where the syllables were landing in my dream, and I was like, I woke up and I was like, bitch, I've never used the word monochrome. I've never even said the word monochrome. I'm like, I just need to confirm what the fuck what do monochrome colors look like?
Yeah.
And monochrome colors is just like different shades of the same color or lacking in color. And I just found it interesting that I was writing about time and how things go on. We're slowly dying. But so it is kind of dark actually. Yeah, like burning confetti in the air. Confetti's colorful. I watch as our colors disappear. Monochrome colors in the air, monochrome colors falling everywhere, monochrome colors, ashes and all, like burning up. Yeah.
Baby, you right.
Okay. We're slowly dying.
Yeah, and I really feel like it wasn't even me. Like I don't. A lot of these, I'm just like, my guides are like, you need this.
But that's that thing of being a conduit, right?
Yeah.
Like, we oftentimes have to remember that, yeah, it doesn't come from us. It's a mess. You are the messenger.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And using your life as kind of like, and your experiences as that landscape to push it through. Because I mean, I was blessed enough as well to see the video, which is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And I love the nostalgia of it. And so if you want to talk a little bit about it before we get to see.
Yeah, I really wanted to paint the dichotomy between having it all and then losing it all. So it goes from like this kind of thing that like being in a relationship, you know? So choose between a relationship that has it all, and then as time goes on you lose. There's a disconnect that happens. And I also wanted to kind of paint the story of what I recently went through and how things changed over time, and but I also, first and foremost, wanted the first single, the first music video to be for my dad. Be like, this is for you. I'm doing this for you. And so I wanted to have childhood memories of, and I wanted to be watching my own childhood memories. So for the first time in years, if not ever, I like went through VHS tapes, and I was going through, and
what a blessing to have that.
I know.
You know?
It was really cool, and it was like seeing my dad and me as a kid, me as with my siblings, the way that we were when we were kids, and it is so heartbreaking sometimes because I feel like there is a closeness between my family, but there's also times when we aren't, and it was weird to see just like the family unit and then like feel how I feel now, like after my dad passed. It just like, and that's why I think that, yeah,
so
because
relatable.
things
So
change,
relatable,
right?
honey.
Things
Yeah.
change, and like,
They do.
so yeah, that's what Monochrome Colors is.
Wow.
So, with that being said,
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
I would
Introduce
like
the
to
video.
introduce-
Premiere it to the world.
premiering my first single off of my upcoming EP. This is Monochrome Colors.
Running your hurt, Daddy.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Come on. You okay? You alright? Huh? Go out to sleep, boy?
No.
Yeah, right.
No. No. No.
Take care of it.
No. No. No.
Here we go.
Bye, Rich. See you in heaven.
How do you know you're going to heaven? How do you know you're going to heaven?
Time to tell me the truth. Did you not care for me the way I cared for you? Time spits in my face. It doesn't care what we had, it was all just a big mistake. Like burning confetti in the air, I watch as our colors disappear. Oh dear, monochrome colors in the air, monochrome colors falling everywhere, monochrome colors, ashes and all, monochrome colors. I thought that we had it all to monochrome colors. Full time in the driver's seat. Isn't it weird to think this is the youngest we'll ever be? Time will take you away. So say that I love you today, 'cause tomorrow's another day. So I said, oh, burning confetti in the air. You swore you'd always be right here. Oh, now I fear monochrome colors. time will win in the end. And in somebody else, this will all repeat again.
And we are back.
Yes, Monochrome Colors, darling.
That video is so amazing. Like, kudos to you and your team. The 5, 6, 7, 8.
That's what I was gonna say.
The 5, 6, 7. Yes.
Like,
okay. It was
That was it was a lot of work. That was a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you guys nailed it. It was
Okay.
in sync. It was yes. It was a moment.
Yeah, Ola Olabi actually shot that, directed that, and also her and I both sat down and edited it. Check out her stuff. She is obviously very talented. Yeah.
What's the artist name again?
Ola Olabi.
Ola Olabi.
Yeah. I met her at my old job, actually.
Nice.
And she's shot every single one of my music videos. Like with Deitre, my old band, she shot 3 music videos with them.
Nice.
And this is like the first of LEONE that she shot. Yeah.
Well.
Yes.
It was
everything.
everything.
It was everything.
She knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the sound of your album or EP is really big. It's very stadium-like. And I'm really interested in how the songs evolved from the acoustic, vibe to the studio big, sound.
Yeah. So you have to remember, like, when I wrote the songs, I wrote them by myself on my, like, living room floor, and I got the Voice Live 3 Extreme, which helped me create harmonies around it, and I kind of created this, not necessarily expecting to have, like, a band, but I also, like, didn't want the live sound to be the same as the produced sound. And so going into the studio with Peter, I was like, I want this to be different from the live. Like, I hear certain things and intensities, and I really wanted a lot of, like, ins and outs. I really wanted it to be really big at one point and then completely strip it out and, like, keep it naked. And when Pete and I have worked on with our old band Deitre in the past, it was a lot more collaborative in a sense of we'd be in a studio and I would be in charge of, like, melody and lyrics, and he would be more in charge of, like, the music that's, like, underneath it. I wouldn't necessarily step in so much. I'd let him handle the music, like the instruments and what he kind of heard, and I'd be like, oh my god, that's hot, like, yes, but I wouldn't articulate. And so when I sat down with him to do LEONE, it was the first time that our conversation kind of changed, and he looked at me and he'd be like, what do you hear? And it was my first time having to be like,
Wow.
I hear, oh my god, what do I hear? And it, like, forced me to kind of, like, almost step into, like, being a producer for the first time. And so, like, this body of work is, like, genuinely, like, I don't play all of those instruments. Pete played a lot of them on the thing. I played the guitar and did the vocals, but, like, in regards to, like, orchestrating, I feel like I was a lot more like, yes, no, can you do this here? I'm hearing this here. And then we'd have something and I'd be like, actually strip out everything and just keep the piano. For Monochrome Colors, where it, like, goes out and it's just the piano at the end, I was like, strip everything out, I just want the piano for that part. And that part ends up being really, actually pulls at the heartstrings more, because I just like really wanted, I wanted it to be big,
dynamic. Yeah,
I wanted it to be like talk to me. Like when the build up, the bridge kind of comes in, like I wanted it to almost be like a completely different song. I'm like, I literally like want people to think they're listening to a different song with this. Like I want it to be fucking angry, and then at the end I like want it all stripped out. So it has this like this roller coaster ride, because the songs were a roller coaster ride to write. Like I wanted it to kind of stay true to like that feeling, you know. But now I have a drummer actually that I play with, which you haven't seen yet.
No.
Brian. He's one of my good friends, and we've been playing our last few shows actually with him behind me and me on the guitar. And I've had a couple of musicians come up and say that they want to play bass in the project. So like the thing that's interesting is like I wanted to be able to do this solo, but I also trusted the universe to kind of pull in the right people for me. So I'm just letting it happen naturally. Like I'm still not even a year old. Like, isn't that so crazy?
I mean,
I'm like, how the fuck is this happening? But and I also like Brian as well. It's like, think about it in a sense. Like I wanted people to approach me the way that Brian did, because ultimately, like, I want someone to love it. I don't want to have to ask an artist or a musician to play with me, and then it become this like paid thing or something. Where I wanted like anyone that's involved with this project to literally feel
connected to it, right?
Connect to the stories and understand them. And Brian's also Italian, which is hilarious. I'm like, we probably look like fucking schmucks up there. We're like Leone. You know what I'm saying? It's so funny.
There's nothing like an organic like foundation. There is nothing like it's such a different thing when you connect with people and things evolve organically and everybody's invested, as opposed to, like you say, like having to, you know,
build
for
your
lack
own
of a better
band.
phrase.
Go on Craigslist.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying?
So
like,
different. It's so different.
No.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm so happy.
It's still growing, but I hear eventually the live performance being kind of like the produced sound. I'm just trusting the process and letting it kind of develop naturally.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is actually another good segue into my next question, because, you know, getting out there and performing in front of people and putting together a band and just navigating the music industry, so to speak. How has it been so far navigating the industry as a whole, being unapologetically queer?
Yeah. It's a lot of work. I do everything myself. I am my booker. I am my manager. I am my PR person. I am the fucking director for the music videos. I am the creative direction. I do all of it. But I'm at this point, luckily, thank God, that I have enough people that are like resonating with me and also respect me as an artist by this point, because they've seen me do Deitre and they've kind of followed me on this journey. So now I have a team that does my makeup and creative direction, friends that help me with that. I have Ola, who directs my music videos. I'm going to be having conversations with a potential management company in a couple of weeks. Like the universe is starting to bring these things to me. It's the first time in my life that it's really feels like I'm creating a team that is on the same wavelength. Because the most important thing for me is that I work with good people.
Yes.
Bitch.
Yes.
Yes.
It's important.
I'm not trying to have any sort of negative energy around me, especially like hearing, because obviously like I've never really experienced what it's like to be like, I don't know, Troye Sivan or Sam Smith, like being a gay like artist that's like actually like successful on the label and stuff. I haven't experienced that yet, but like I think to myself, like, do they have good people that work for them? What is it like as you climb the ladder? Because think about it for a second. Like, as you climb, shit becomes more corrupt. Money comes in, and I think that's my biggest fear, is just like I don't want to get fucked over.
Yeah.
Right, and then it seems like a lot of times a lot more control comes into play, because then there's a great amount of money that's invested into artists and things like that, and then thus a lot of times sometimes creativity, we were talking about that on one of the breaks with another artist, how like creativity then gets becomes stripped or
from the artist.
It's something I study artists like all the time. I'm always reading somebody's biography, reading the interview, the whole nine, because that's just the kind of person I am. I'm always fascinated by other people's lives. And one thing I noticed about a lot of artists who seem to somehow keep their artistry intact and their integrity intact and not lose it is their grounding. If you look at their foundation is so solid, and they know who they are in such a way that no one can take that from them. And they have their sound, they know what it is, and you can only get it from them. And even from that, and then if you look at some bigger artists who've been able to maintain a sense of like truth, if you will, or at least not lose it. For example, even Beyonce, right? Beyonce is like arguably the biggest, star that we have at this point. And Beyonce's grounding, though, is so solid. Beyonce could have easily lost it, just like some of our other big celebrities, and have a lot of these issues, but the grounding in her life, her family there, like knowing that, we don't know very much about her life unless she allows it to be known. And you can tell that her foundation is so, like everybody around her,
super solid.
Everybody around her she can trust, and she knows that, and you can tell, which is what's kept her, because I'm sure, like you say, like as the money comes in, more voices come in, more opinions come in, and more things you got to keep up with, and all the other kind of stuff. But when you have the people around you who know when to tell you no, who know when to say yes, who know how to keep you doing what you need to do, and keep you like locked in into being the vessel that you need to be, that's what keeps people together. So I think it's and
get
it's
ready.
Exactly. Oh my God, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say, what's beautiful about your experience right now is that you are organically building the people around you to create that grounding, because it sounds like the people that are with you right now in this moment are with you for what you really want to bring to the table. They're not coming there for the money. They're not trying. They're about it because they love you. They love what you do, and they believe in it. And so therefore, as those things continue to rise, you're going to have that grounding, and you're setting that up now where you can look at these people and be like, well, you've been with me since the beginning. Can I trust you? Absolutely, because you're not here for
and
that,
I really do want to bring up the people that have been in this fight with me. It's like the only way that we all rise up is by like helping one another. That's the truth of the matter. And it's like I will always like try to. I do that. That's what I wanted to do at Legion. I wanted to build up everyone. I'm not. I really don't believe that you can really be successful if you're just in it for like yourself. You need to be able to. Like, you need to want to see other people rise too, and not have this jealousy or fucking shit that just makes, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's all love, bitch. I'm just like, and also I feel like that's come with age. Like, I'm 32 now.
Looking 26.
She's putting creams on. She's taking care of herself. And like, yes, I told you I've been manifesting this since I was like 14. I was ready to be a star the next day, And it's like, if I would have been picked up by anything at that age, I would have been chewed, swallowed, fucking spit out. And like now, I feel like it's like, again, like, my guides are like, this is your time because you're ready actually for this now. And I didn't understand that in the past, Now I do.
Right. It's like now, you know who you are. You're grounded in your identity. It's undeniable. It's unshakable. And so I think, like DeShawn was saying, when you have those people in your life, not only in your life, but then in your career that support all and everything of who you are, it just only lifts you even higher. So, Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations, and thank you for coming and blessing our stage and the Oracle Shop. And
Yeah, thank you.
the world with your art, and your vulnerability is truly inspirational, honestly, even for me. So
Y'all are
like,
fucking right there with it, okay? We are all reflections of one another, and that's the reason why we're literally having this conversation.
Yeah.
this is true.
Because that would not, we wouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So y'all are special as shit. So let's fucking hang, man.
Well, I actually I feel like we could just keep talking for like a whole other like 2 hours about. There's so much to tap into.
Yeah.
But one question we do like to ask like all of our guests is, in what ways do you feel that you've been able to unbind the binary in your own personal journey, and what has that been like?
I feel like my whole life I've been unbinding the binary because I am everything. We are all everything. It's just a matter of like calling it out or not. You're everything, you're everything. You're everything, you're everything. Fucking Joe Schmo in the corner is everything. Maybe Joe Schmo hasn't acknowledged that, but we are. I am masculine, I am feminine, we are all a spectrum of everything. It's just a matter of acknowledging it and not letting this kind of tell us who we are. And when I say that, I'm not speaking about the universe or our guides. I'm speaking about politics. I'm speaking about government. I'm speaking about people that are trying to train us to be this, or this, or this. Why can't I be everything? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
You know?
Mic drop.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Boom.
Yeah. That was
It is what it is.
Yeah. That's I don't even know what else to say to that.
Yeah, so beautifully said. Yeah, it's that oneness, right? That interconnectedness that we all share, and like you said, you know, whether you tap into it or not, it's up to you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and one day I may feel like I'm like broski some days, and then like other days I'm like in stilettos, and I'm like, fuck yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I allow myself to kind of like, I allow myself to live my truth for each day, and it's never the same every day. So I love y'all.
We love you too, and thank you so much for coming.
Yes, thank you
for having me.
Yeah. Well, we are going to take a break, and when we come back, Leone is going to bless us with another song. Can't wait. So we'll be right back.
The Oracle Shop is a metaphysical boutique located in the heart of Bushwick, Brooklyn. 164 Wilson, Brooklyn, New York, 11237. The Oracle Shop.
Performing the title track off his new EP, You Should Know, folks, the one and only Leone.
I tried to block it down tight. I tried to push it down high. We'll get better in time. I won't say I'm not alright. I never walk away. He needs me. I have to stay. I try to give it all. I try, but I should know. there's a price when you give your all to someone else's life. And now I know I have to say goodbye. You should know I'm alright. You should know I'll be fine. I hop on a city bike to go for a city ride to other friends and I have DNA summer nights. This is real to me. I'm touching something that I can't see. This means the world to me tonight. And you should know, 'cause you're getting me right. With all the love you bring to my life. And now I know that this is my time. You should know I'm alright. You should know I'll be fine. Oh, I'll be fine. 'Cause all I ever wanted was to take a breath from me. It's all I ever wanted was to take a breath, just take a breath, so I can finally see. You should know. Oh, no, I'm alright. Oh, you should know. I'll be fine. I'm alright. You should know. You should know. You should
Monochrome Colors, the new single from LEONE, available now everywhere music is streamed.
Thank you so much for being our first musical performance.
Thank
That was
you.
amazing, baby.
Thank you, babe.
Yes. Thank you so much for just blessing this whole entire space in the Oracle
Well,
shop.
thank you guys for also letting me be a part of this. Honestly, it means a lot. I'm happy to be your first performer.
Yes, we wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
So, well, tell people where they can find you.
You can find me, you can follow me on Project LEONE on Instagram. You can also, I have a TikTok now because I'm a cool kid.
Oh, you're a cool kid.
Trying to be a cool kid. Project.LEONE, yes, it's very nice. And then you can also listen to Monochrome Colors on all streaming platforms at this point. And yeah, the music video is also online as well, so thank you.
Awesome, yeah. So, once again, thank you for coming by and blessing us. Like, I'm so excited for your album. I love it. I can't wait for everybody to hear it. I can't wait for it to
Congratulations.
numbers
On
on
numbers, on numbers.
Hopefully.
Oh, it will.
Yeah.
We like to speak these things as if they are manifesting. So thank you again so much. Like I really don't. I could go on and on. I'm so grateful. Like so grateful. From the moment I met you, it's been nothing but an amazing experience. So thank you for blessing us. And
Thank you for
make
blessing
sure.
me.
And come back.
Oh yes, you can.
Please come back at some point.
Yes, come back. I'd love to.
Maybe for a little chat.
Yes. I'm here for it.
A little panel situation.
I would love a panel moment. Yes.
Oh yes. Oh yes. So make sure you all check out Leone's album, You Should Know, when it comes out. But for now, you can catch Monochrome Colors, the single, on Spotify and everywhere else music is streamed. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's right. All right.
That's right.
Well, thank you once again.
Thank you.
And we will see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at unbinding.the.binary. Email us at unbinding.the.binary.podcast@gmail.com.